Learn English through stories. Lily sat at her desk, a stack of English textbooks looming like insurmountable mountains. Years of grammar rules and vocabulary lists had left her feeling completely overwhelmed. Every lesson felt like a relentless, joyless chore, stripping away any shred of enthusiasm she once possessed for the language. She often found herself muttering, "Why you should not learn English," a cynical thought born from deep, gnawing frustration. The process seemed endless and utterly unproductive, with no tangible progress visible despite her hours of dedicated, yet misguided, effort. She yearned for a different, more effective path. The traditional classroom methods had failed her repeatedly, leaving her with fragmented knowledge and profound self-doubt. Memorizing endless word lists and complex verb conjugations felt like pushing a boulder uphill, only for it to roll back down again. Her confidence plummeted with each passing day. One particularly disheartening evening, while aimlessly browsing online, a peculiar headline caught her eye. It promised a different, more engaging journey. The concept was so simple, yet so revolutionary, it instantly piqued her long-dormant curiosity and offered a glimmer of distant hope. The headline declared, "Learn English through stories." Lily paused, intrigued. Could something so enjoyable truly be the key to unlocking this seemingly impossible language? She had always associated learning with tediousness, never with the captivating power of a well-told narrative. She clicked, skepticism warring with a desperate need for a breakthrough. The article detailed how stories provide context, natural language patterns, and emotional connection, making words stick effortlessly. This was completely unlike anything her previous teachers had ever suggested to her. The author passionately argued that English isn't just a collection of words. It's a living, breathing entity best absorbed through rich, immersive experiences. This resonated deeply with Lily, who felt her own learning had been too mechanical, devoid of any genuine, human connection. Lily decided to give it a try. Her first step was finding simple, yet very interesting story collections online, specifically tailored for English learners. She wanted tales that would immediately captivate her imagination, not just a dry compilation of isolated sentences or phrases. She started with short fables, then moved to more complex narratives. Each story unfolded a new world, pulling her into its plot. She wasn't just reading. She was experiencing, visualizing, and naturally absorbing the language as if it were her own native tongue. The words began to make sense in context, their meanings becoming clear without endless dictionary lookups. She noticed how sentences flowed, how characters expressed emotions, and how plot points developed naturally. This organic learning felt incredibly liberating to her. She then discovered the concept of talk in English just one page per day. This meant actively speaking about what she had read, even if only to herself. It transformed passive reading into active, verbal practice, cementing new vocabulary and sentence structures. Initially, talking to herself felt awkward and a little silly, but she persevered. She would summarize a paragraph, describe a character, or even argue a point from the story aloud. This daily vocalization built her muscle memory for speaking English. This consistent, albeit short, daily speaking practice was revolutionary. It broke down her fear of making mistakes, as she was her own forgiving audience. The words started to come out more smoothly, less haltingly, with each passing, dedicated day. The article also stressed the importance of listen and practice. Lily began listening to audiobooks of the stories she read, and then podcasts and interviews, especially those featuring clear, articulate speakers. This added another crucial layer to her immersion. Listening allowed her to internalize pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation, aspects often neglected in purely text-based learning. She would mimic native speakers, repeating phrases and entire sentences, honing her accent and fluency effectively and naturally. She realized that why reading is so important went beyond just vocabulary acquisition. Reading exposed her to diverse sentence structures, idiomatic expressions, and cultural nuances that traditional textbooks simply couldn't convey effectively enough. The more she read, the more intuitive the language became. She stopped translating word for word in her head and started to think directly in English. This was a monumental shift, a clear sign of significant progress in her language journey. Why you must read English became her new mantra. Reading wasn't just a learning tool. It was a pathway to understanding a culture, a window into new perspectives. It was a holistic experience that enriched her mind far beyond mere linguistic skills. As her vocabulary expanded and her comprehension deepened, Lily felt a surge of confidence she hadn't experienced before. The fear of speaking, once paralyzing, began to dissipate. She knew she was on the right path, finally making real headway. She started seeking out opportunities to speak with others. Initially, these were online language exchange partners, then later, in-person conversation groups. Her newfound confidence made these interactions less terrifying and more enjoyable. How make confidence in speaking became less of a question and more of a natural outcome of her consistent, enjoyable practice. The more she engaged with stories and actively used the language, the more self-assured she became in her abilities. Lily also developed a particular fondness for British English, having listened to many audiobooks narrated by British speakers. The nuances of the accent and specific vocabulary delighted her, adding another layer of depth to her learning journey. She decided to specifically focus on "Let's talk in British English" during her speaking practices. She watched British TV shows, listened to BBC podcasts, and even practiced mimicking different regional accents, finding immense joy in the process. Her friends noticed the change. Lily, once hesitant to utter a single English word, was now conversing with surprising fluency and a distinct, charming British lilt. Her transformation was remarkable, inspiring many around her. Her journey wasn't about rigid rules or endless drills anymore. It was about connection, immersion, and finding joy in the learning process. Stories had truly opened up a world of possibilities she never imagined existed for her. She discovered that learning English could be an adventure, not a burden. Each new story was a treasure hunt for words, a puzzle to solve, and a world to explore, making every single day exciting and full of pleasant surprises. The idea of just one page per day was manageable, never overwhelming. It built consistent habits without burnout, proving that small, daily efforts accumulate into significant, long-term achievements in learning. She started recommending her method to everyone who struggled. "Forget the textbooks for a while," she'd say. "Just find a story that excites you and dive in. You'll be amazed at the natural progress." Her advice spread, and many people began to follow her unconventional path. They too found that stories transformed their learning experience, making it enjoyable and effective, just as it had for Lily. The magic was in the immersion, in making English a part of her daily life, not just an academic subject. It was about creating a consistent, positive feedback loop that encouraged continuous growth. Every day was an opportunity to discover something new, a fresh phrase, or an interesting idiom. The language ceased to be an abstract concept and became a vibrant, living entity she interacted with. She learned to embrace mistakes as stepping stones, not stumbling blocks. Each misstep was an opportunity to refine her understanding and improve her fluency, making her more resilient. The fear of judgment slowly faded, replaced by a genuine desire to communicate and connect with people from different backgrounds. Her confidence grew exponentially with every successful conversation. Her voice became clearer, her pauses less frequent. She could express complex ideas and nuanced emotions, something she once thought was utterly impossible for her to achieve in English. She realized that true fluency wasn't about perfection, but about effective communication and natural expression. It was about being understood and understanding others, with ease and confidence. Lily's story became a testament to the power of unconventional learning. She proved that passion and engagement could override years of frustrating, ineffective traditional methods that she had endured. Her journey from despair to delight was a clear demonstration that learning a language doesn't have to be a struggle. It can be an incredibly enriching and rewarding personal adventure. She often reflected on her initial despair, her thought of why you should not learn English. Now, she knew the answer. One should not learn English in ways that kill joy and effectiveness. Instead, one should learn English through methods that ignite passion, foster curiosity, and build genuine connection with the language itself, making the journey truly enjoyable. Her daily, talk in English just 1 page per day, habit solidified her gains, turning passive knowledge into active, usable language. This consistency was absolutely key to her rapid progress. The consistent rhythm of listen and practice refined her auditory comprehension and pronunciation, making her sound more like a native speaker with each passing, dedicated session. She understood deeply why reading is so important. It wasn't just for words, but for cultural insight and natural language exposure. It broadened her horizons considerably and effortlessly. Truly, why you must read English became self-evident. It provided the deep immersion necessary for true fluency, far beyond superficial understanding, connecting deeply with her. Her ability to make confidence in speaking came not from magic, but from deliberate, enjoyable practice and overcoming the fear of imperfection, embracing every single attempt. And her particular love for, let's talk in British English, added a personal touch to her learning, making it even more motivating and tailored to her unique, specific interests. Lily's success story resonated with countless individuals, proving that a shift in methodology could yield astonishing results. She became an unofficial language learning mentor to many online. Her advice was simple: stop dreading English lessons. Start enjoying them. Find stories that make your heart race, and let the language unfold naturally, captivating your imagination. She continued to read, listen, and speak every single day, her passion for English growing stronger with each passing moment. The language was no longer a barrier, but a beautiful bridge. Her journey was a powerful reminder that the best way to learn anything is to make it engaging, personal, and deeply meaningful. This approach unlocked her full potential beautifully. The once daunting task of learning English had transformed into a lifelong passion, a source of constant discovery and endless personal growth, enriching every aspect of her life significantly. Lily's tale confirms that with the right approach, anyone can achieve fluency and confidence, turning frustration into triumph. Her experience is a beacon of hope for all learners. So, if you're struggling, remember Lily's journey. Embrace stories, talk daily, listen intently, and read widely. Your English adventure awaits, ready to be beautifully explored. Her confidence now radiated in every English conversation she held, a testament to her dedication and the effective, enjoyable methods she had so successfully embraced. She was no longer just learning a language. She was living it, breathing it, and connecting with the world in a profound and meaningful new way, opening countless doors. This was not just learning, it was transformation. Lily, the once frustrated student, was now a confident, fluent, and inspiring speaker of the English language.